I've loved learning from other people. And the reason why is because there's so many people out there that have already made mistakes that I'm going to go through. And by me learning from their mistakes means that I speed up the time and I don't have to go through any of the pain, suffering, or any of that ordeal. One of the people that I follow in business, his name is Alex Hormozy, and I'll put a link to him inside of the show notes here. And he shares something about leverage. And this actually came from a lesson from Naval Ravikant. So you can see again, like Naval is the one that pieced this framework together. Alex looked at it and he twisted it to work for him. And then now I'm taking it and moving forward with it. When we approach it that way, we're not stealing, we're learning from each other, we're collaborating. And so this is all about leverage. And funny enough that those 4 C's that Alex is talking about, the first one is collaboration. And I see that what happens for us as we grow and as we learn, when we sit in a vacuum too long, then we all of a sudden stop growing. However, and I need to put a big asterisk next to this, there is an area of growth that does happen in a vacuum. So what I mean by that is too often, a lot of the new styles that come from the startup world is that you want to be collaborating from the very beginning and you need to test your ideas at the inception of it. And that may work in some situations, but there's also situations where you want to get into that vacuum and you just want to work and you want to build something. Because if you are working in public at the very beginning and your audience shuts it down, you may never get to the real gold that you were going for. So understand that there is a time and place for that collaboration. The second piece of leverage is capital. And capital can mean the human capital. It's also going to be the capital, is like in money. And talking about that capital, there are so many areas and ways that you can get capital for your business. One, it can be from the capital that you have already. It can be from credit cards. It can be from lines of credit. And it can also be from raising capital from other people. For me, and this is what I've seen across the board time and time again, the longer that you can put off raising capital from others until the idea is validated, the better off that you're going to be. Now, I've seen it go across the board where you've got the idea factory and the idea is not even vetted and you're going and you're testing that idea and you're raising capital. The sooner that you raise that capital, the more of the company you're going to have to give up. Again, another asterisk next to this. If you have had the track record, you've built something and you've exited, then the raising the capital on the idea or the raising the capital sooner is the exception to the rule. If you have not already exited and you haven't done that, then you need to hold off as long as possible because you'll be raising on an idea without the ability to fully execute. So again, each one of these I have a little bit of an asterisk next to. The third C in leverage is code, and that is using code for other people. And the one that I want to say is follow down the no code rabbit hole. So the ability for us to create amazing things has never been greater than right now. What we can do with tools like Zapier or Integromat, tools that we can use to help us grow, are just absolutely amazing. And so look for code. One of the problems that I've seen countless times over and over with developers is that they want to build it from the ground up. Whereas we can look at something that someone has already built and they're selling for a small amount of money, and we can plug into their system, use it, validate, and then if we have to rebuild, then that's fine. But when it comes to code, avoid at all costs of trying to build from the ground up because that's going to take time, and time is your enemy. That's something you can never get back. The last of the 4 C's is content. And for us, as we're growing our businesses, content is absolutely essential. For one, I tend to not be heavily involved with creating social media content. Our company does it, but for me, I'm fairly silent. And that is something that may need to change. And in fact, it more than likely does need to change. Content is so important because it lets other people know what we're doing. But the side benefits of that are that we're going to get more backlinks, we're going to get more recognition, we're going to be able to start to attract more people. Content is essential, and find out where that content is for you. You know, that as a developer, your content may be on Stack Overflow or on Product Hunt. And as a CEO of a company, your content may be as you go out and give speeches or being on a podcast, or it could be having articles written. There are so many other pieces to this, but content is absolutely essential. I will put an asterisk next to that, which when you're creating content, own it. Live it, do it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but also at the same time, don't be afraid to create content. Don't live in a vacuum so that you're never sharing what's going on. Same, don't overshare. If you overshare, you get the reward of people telling you, great job, well done, before you even do the work. And then you never get to doing the work. Understand what your balance is. So that is a small lesson on leverage.